God is doing something special on the me and you. In 1996, a iconic rapper placed a song that literally had a phrase that has been used many times before. They even placed this phrase on a clothing attire. This phrase is one that you might have been used, and to be honest with you, I've used it myself. It is a phrase that has been used when confronted by haters and naysayers. This phrase is, "Only God can judge me now." Written by the known rapper Tupac Shakur. This is the true statement according to John 7, verse number 24. It says, "Do not judge by appearance, but judge with the right judgment." If I was to share with you that you make a judgment call in everything that you do, what would you say? The truth is, we do make judgment calls in everything that we do. This morning, I made a judgment call to take the highway instead of staying on the road that I was on. We make judgment calls on what we are going to wear, where we're going to eat, and what we are going to do tonight. We base our judgment calls based off of our history and what works better for us as an individual. And if we are going to keep making the same judgment call and expecting a different outcome and it still ends up the same way, that would be considered insanity. There is nothing wrong with making a judgment call because those calls are based off of past results. Now, passing judgments is something totally different. Passing judgment is when a judgment is made according to a person's heart. It's like you can look inside the person's heart. And since we don't know the person's heart, we can't pass judgment on anyone. The only one that knows and sees our heart is God. You see verse number 24, "Do not judge by appearance, but judge with right judgment." Humanity can only look at the appearance of a person, making us ineligible for passing judgment. Jesus in this text is in a festival, which he goes to the temple, and at the temple he starts to teach. The crowd is astonished by what he is sharing, and the question is raised, how does this man have such learning when he has never been taught? Jesus tells him that his teaching is not of him, but it's the one who sent him. If anyone resolves to do the will of God, will know whether the teaching is from God or whether it's Jesus who is speaking on his own. Jesus' response makes verse number 24 so true. I don't have the authority to judge anyone, but I can make a judgment call that is right. You know, I had this to happen to me when growing up. When I was in the 8th grade, I was a choir director for the youth. We would sing every 4th Sunday, so that meant we had to practice every Saturday at 10 a.m. There was a talent show that was coming up in the area that I lived in, and me and my boys wanted to enter into this competition. So we started looking for some possible music selection that we could sing. Now, some of those lyrics that we were considering wasn't PG-13, if you know what I mean. We didn't want to sing a church song because we didn't think it would help us win. So we selected a song, and I remember going to one of my boys' house to practice because the competition was coming up. And when I got there, his mother was there, who happened to be a choir director herself. She said, "Lamar, let me talk to you for a minute." Now you know what that meant. She started off by asking the question, "You are a youth director at the church you attend, right?" "Yes." "You are a Christian?" I said, "Yes." "So share with me, why are you going along with the songs that the group is planning to sing?" Because the song is talking about sex, drugs, and living the fast life to destruction. My son is a part of this group, and I know he isn't a believer yet, but you claim to be. Right then, I was about to form my mouth to say, I don't think you have the right to judge me. what she said next really opened my eyes. She said, I am not passing judgment. I'm only making a judgment. Jesus says, whosoever resolves to do the will of God will know whether the teaching is from God or whether I am speaking on my own. I knew right then what she was saying, that she wasn't coming at me. If anyone was judging me, it would be the word of God. I end this by saying this. No one can pass judgment on no one, but the word of God, which is righteous, can. Yes, the word of God has been used as a weapon against individuals. And I need to say that if you desire to do the will of God, then you will know whether or not the teaching is from God or if that teaching is from the one who is speaking. And for the next few weeks, I would like to start a new series of Don't Judge Me Now. I'll talk to you next week.